Hello, I'm John, I'm the Warhammer modeller, and this is a part 2 video of the build for the Necromunda Sump Barge. Since the first video I've added a few details here and there, so just to quickly run through those. Along the sides of the barge we have some styrene I-beam, some plastic I-beam that I've cut down to size to fit along the edges, just to cover up any bits of mess that were left from chopping it apart. The front section, I've added this styrene front as almost like a bumper, and then the chains that I've added, they came from this crane section from another piece of Warhammer 40,000 terrain. I'm going to use bits I haven't used for this on another project, but what you can see is we've got this little section just here, is this section here. This bit of chain is that side, and then on the other side, so it looks like it operates, I've chopped the crane down. Let's hold that up a bit better. I've chopped the crane down so that looks like a winch or a pulley system to pull that in. So that's the front finished. I now want to think about what to do on the back, so that's what I'm going to do in this video. So the first thing that I want to do is put something onto the end sections here of the I-beam. I've already cut some pieces of styrene for that, and onto those I want to put some of these hooks that come from one of the Warhammer 40,000 vehicle kits, just so it looks like it could tie up and tow a few things. So let's start by sticking those in place. So I've had a bit of a play around with lots of different parts and a few ideas. I've got all my parts ready to finish this model today. So it's going to be should be quite a quick video as I've got all the parts. It just depends how long it takes me to stick them all together. And making sure that the glue's dried before I let go. There we go. Okay, let's straighten that up a little bit. Okay, I'm going to wait for that to dry before I stick the hooks on, so I'll just put them to one side for now. And I've had a few little bits and pieces that, as I said, I've put aside for this. Let's have a look at some of these. So, from the armoured container sprue, there were these storm bolter parts. What I'm actually going to do is chop off the gun section, so we just have this part here, and I'm going to stick these to the back for the propellers or whatever the propulsion system is. I then have this piece from the Necromunda terrain kit. This is going to be on the inside as part of the engine, the control panel, and then the locking mechanism for the armoured container I'm actually going to mount on the top of this to be like the autopilot of the barge itself. As well as that, I've got some more styrene strips, so in this case it's in the round, and I'm going to stick that along this edge here just to cap everything off to make it look a little bit more neat and tidy. Not a necessity, but I quite like the idea of just finishing that edge off along there. Okay, so I'll stick those on in a bit. I'm going to start sorting this out for the inside of the barge. So I want to keep these brackets that are on here, so I'm going to just cut them off carefully. There we go. this is going to be the underside, so I'm not too worried about tidying that up too much. Before I lose these, I'm actually going to put these in place. What I've thought of is these are going to go into here as a bracket to hold these back sections on. I'm actually going to put it, I think, the other way round. So let me just glue these in. So let's do them that way round. No, stick them the other way round. They're too big to go that way. That's better. Okay. So let's stick the other one in. Use my scalpel just to line these up. There we go. So I've got those two sections on the back. Looks like they're holding these up. While I'm doing it now, let's stick the hooks on. Oops. Nice. So lining these up just on the back here. There we go. So we've got those two hooks on the back, and while we're working on the back section here, let's put, oops, let's put this trim in place. We'll have that sitting just over there. Let's trim that back a little bit. Okay, so let's just run the glue. Sorry, I realise I'm not talking, just concentrating on sticking all these bits together. Doesn't quite line up at the back section there, but I'm not too worried. With the overall, it works. If it doesn't line up here and there, just adds a bit to that kind of ramshackled look. So let's go back to this interior section. So this, I'm going to want to stick this into here. What I want to also do is mount that onto the top there. So let's cut this in the right place. So let's have a look. That's going to stick straight onto there like that. So let's get the glue again. So I had the idea originally that this would have like a pilot, a boatman, to drive it, and then I came up with the idea, actually looking at the kit for the container, you've got that door lock which has a servo scull in. I thought actually that might look quite cool, having the driver actually being a servo scull operated vehicle. So let's put the glue on the back of here. Okay. So Just hope that's in the middle, close enough. So let's ease that back a bit so we've got that at more of a right angle. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take off that little servo skull thing. I'm just going to make the base of it a bit more of an angle so it sits more at around 90 degrees rather than leaning forward as it was doing. So any of these videos that I do, I'll trying to start doing a few more videos now and again, but time always seems to get in the way. But if there's anything that anyone would like to see made or have me try and convert, I'd be quite happy to go to the challenge of that. Okay, so there's the little pilot and his little box sitting there. Right, let's have a look at these sections on the back that I want to mount on to be where the propellers may be. So I've shaved off a little bit of plastic there and there. So now I'm just going to glue these in place. If there are any gaps, I'm going to fill it later on before I paint it with some green stuff or some filler. But for now I just want to get these in place. So I'm actually going to hold that down and then just stick that straight in place. And do the same with the other one. There are quite a few gaps on this now, so I probably will fill this later on. I might just add a bit more glue in a second. Let's make sure they're kind of squarish. Whoop. So yeah, I could spend a bit more time shaving bits of plastic off and things like that, but I just want to get this made. So what I will do is just add a little bit more glue at the back here, just to help melt any of the plastic and glue it in place. So let's turn this round while I let that dry. Okay, so what bits have I got spare? So I do have this tube. I think the bits that I've cut off, I'm going to leave them for now, but while that's drying, let me just put that to one side. What I did do with the leftover bits of the kit, I made a semi-submerged armoured container. So have this bobbing around in the sump, or have it as an objective or something like that. I'm going to put it on a little base and fill the gaps all around the edge before I paint it all up. But that's something else that's come out of this kit. So we've got that nice little bit of extra. Let's have a look at this now. So we've got all of the back with the little pilot and the little propeller sections there. I might stick something on there later on, but for now I'm quite happy with the way this has turned out with the details. So for now I think I'm going to call that a day, and here is my Necromunda Sump Barge. So if you enjoyed that, like and subscribe. If you want me to try my hand at another video of any kind, just let me know. If you want me to try and make or convert something that you want to see, I'm always up for a challenge, like I said. But for now, I'm John, I'm the Warhammer Modeler. I'll see you on the next one.